people who visit us, 49%, couples 28. And we have the main reason for the visit they have, it's the shopping, tourism and nature. And the thing is, most of these people come by car, okay? 84% comes by car in Andorra. 83% repeats coming in Andorra, it's a very good data. And the assessment of stay is 8.7%, 8.7, sorry. The activities, so they come for one reason, but after they do some activities, 98% they do shopping, 86% they come to food and drink, and exploring Andorra, 52%, and after you can see the other reasons they stay here. Our future perspectives, Andorra brand, we want it to be international. We have international presence in more than 14 countries, okay? And the most important countries for us in the moment is France and Spain. And in the next 5 years, we expect to open the markets among Middle East and Asia. For example, as an example, now we are making a marketing campaign in Paris with more than 30 taxis going around Paris to promote our ski resorts. Andorra is a country, we do a lot of events all over the year, okay, sport events, cultural events, and we are trying to have every year important events with international brands like Cirque du Soleil, National Geographic, Disney. As an example, this summer we have the Andorra Mountain Music. We will have this in February also, and we have like Armin van Buuren, David Guetta this past summer, and now we will have a great spectacle in February. And after we have the Cirque du Soleil, we have also the Andorra Shopping Festival, we have the Andorra Trail, the Ironman. Okay, so we are working in different.
At the end of the presentations, you'll have the opportunity to do B2B's encounters with Andorran companies that have come to Dubai, and also you will have a bit of coffee and refreshments so that you can fresh up and cheer up for the meetings. Thank you very much. Now we start the business side. I will just
Okay, tourism perspective and the benefits and the huge plenty of opportunities that the country is giving us. I'm gonna focus a little bit more on the opportunities from the economical view. Okay. To show that, just to share with you some figures about the country. It's a country which economy is based, as you may see, centered on services, okay, essentially, and hospitality, retail, financial services, of course, but also an increasing sector is business services. In terms of numerical or figures about the macro figures about the economy, just let me add that the GDP for the country is $3,200 million, or was $300 million in 2021. Also, the GDP per capita, which is a significant figure because those 37,000, roughly $38,000 per capita, are among the EU average in terms of GDP per capita. And another thing, important thing about Andorra is that only the 2.5% of unemployment rate in 2020. To diversify the economy as a need, because it was essentially based on tourism and financial services. And in that sense, decided to implement several initiatives. One of them was, of course, in 2012 to define, to establish a regulatory framework for foreign investment for the country, which will show later on a little bit with the projects, key project of the country, how this has worked since then. And in terms of of this foreign direct investment, their own business. As we mentioned, Malaysia is a special country, and we think we have a very attractive environment for business development. And we're going to see a little bit more. An attractive country for business investment and for business development. In fact, it has been ranked as one of the most attractive tax framework country because of that. Essentially because our value-added tax is 4 to 5%, a maximum of 10% for personal and company, personal revenue tax and company taxes. So it's a quite low tax rate. Maybe you may ask this question: how is this? After this implementation of this law of the foreign investment that we saw that permitted us to have non-double taxation agreement, and we have several, and one of them is actually with Emirates. We defined it at that moment, and since we are modifying and adapting this kind of project, we have a strategy, because we do really think that we need to make something structured, and it comes from this strategy. More representative about the foreign investment and the sectors that we are prioritizing, and the results we are expecting from them. So I give the floor to my colleague, Judith.
Thank you very much. So for our project of diversification, we needed to know we were going towards which sectors we wanted to focus Andorra in. So we were already very strong in tourism, in retail, but we wanted to look, where do we want to go? Where we are strong at? Where do we have value? So we did an assessment also together with the private sector and with business associations of Andorra. And as you can imagine, Andorra will never be good at any sector that needs a lot of space. We are very small. But currently we have this digital economy where Andorra can be very strong at. So I'll show you the sectors that we are working from Andorra Business. Mainly all the sectors related to technology, blockchain. I'll go a bit into detail in a matter of some highlights of some of them. Technological development, fintech, e-sports is a very important sector. I'll tell you why in a while. Then we also wanted to focus on those sectors where we could already bring a value, that Andorra is already important in. Those would be the ones related with health and wellness. You've already heard a lot of health and wellness in the presentation. And also the sector of sports. I'll tell you also briefly why in a little bit. And then we also tackled the other sectors where maybe they were not as mature that we also want to have an eye on. However, as you can imagine, we cannot focus on 12 sectors. We've picked in which ones we can be stronger and in which ones we've also developed a legal framework that gives us advantages. We work very strongly on the esports. We already have a lot of actors in the esports sector in Andorra. So it was approved a legal frame to boost the sector, not to control it, but to have it boosted and give the juridical security that the sector needs. But what is most important, we approved the strategic plan to develop esports. Rounded by, in the European Union, it represents less than 3%. And in Andorra, it's already the 7%. Not only for that, but also because of the importance of that the sports play in health and active aging. Biomedical research law, that's in progress, but that's allowed this very important investment that we are having in Andorra. The multinational Grifols announced they are opening an immunology research center that will be one of the few in the world, and that will be based in Ordino in Andorra. And there is a 25 million initial investment and 7 million investment in research and innovation. Those are. So as the head of government mentioned, we are creating a customs-free zone, mainly with two focus. One is trade, so to facilitate trade, to make companies more competitive, to make the retail sector easier to trade. And the other side is for artwork, custody, and valuables in the in the free zone. It's a bit like the esports. We already have the actors, but we're working towards developing a technological district. My colleague Marc Pons in the Andorra Research and Innovation, that we are working together in this project, will explain you more details. As I said, we already have startups, ecosystems, but we need to put it together and help and boost it. So that's our technological district project and innovation. So now my colleague Marc Pons, Director of Andorra Research and Innovation, will give you a round on this side, innovation, entrepreneurship, and digital economy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Judith. So we've seen so far how Andorra is being a landmark in terms of tourism. Not only is becoming sincere, although it is, but now we've seen how it's becoming in terms of business. And I will explain you a little bit more how to achieve this vision. We are taking innovation, digitalization, and sustainability as a key enablers and drivers for this vision and this process that we are working on so far. So, as we've seen, innovation is a key driver, and our vision that we are working so far is becoming really an open innovation living up as a country scale. It's not to be big, it's important, but it's really important to be unique. And this is one of the topics that we are really focusing on, how we really can become this living lab for innovation, digitalization, and always sustainability in our focus. And finally, of course, this is mandatory in our list, how we can become a really startup-friendly country. So, in terms to do this vision, and terms to achieve this vision, so we have a set of activities and roadmap to develop all these projects. But of course, to support all these visions, we are right now with one of the most cutting-edge legal frameworks in the world, I can say right now, in order to help and facilitate this new digital economy, entrepreneurship and innovation economy. To give you some examples, so the new ways of work, as we've seen with the pandemic, is now a must. So it was already in the last decade a change in the name of the ways of work, but recently with the pandemic we've seen that now it's increasingly more and more important to take these new ways of work. And in our case in Andorra, we are working, for example, to create an entrepreneurship and innovation visa that will facilitate to host this kind of new talent and new human capital is really important for these innovation ecosystems. Also, to host these digital nomads. As you see, Andorra, it's an amazing country to live in, to experience, to enjoy. So how, when we merge this business opportunity with this high standard quality of life, we can see that this new digital way of working in Andorra, it's really an amazing place to do so. Of course, these co-living, co-working spaces that will of course facilitate this infrastructure for this kind of new workers in terms of digital and entrepreneurs. Of course, funding. So as you know, funding is the seed of innovation and the projects happening. Of course, we're also working with accompanying some digital incentives that will help this fiscal environment that we have to enhance this kind of entrepreneurs and innovation projects, and more adapted to this kind of startups and innovative companies. Of course, infrastructure, as we've seen before, so economic zones and this technological and innovation district will be key landmarks. So we have right now quite sound environment in terms of incubator, accelerator, and clusters. But the size of our country is really a great opportunity, not only to have these actors, these stakeholders in our ecosystem, but of course, the most important, to really have a cohesive ecosystem. So the proximity between the actors is in Andorra is more, it's greater than in other environments. So the possibilities to work together, public administrations, private, academia, citizens in our country is so easy. It's really a uniqueness that you can have compared to some other ecosystems. So this approach is the one that we are working with Technology and Innovation District. So we will not build big campus like some other countries. In our concept will be create this innovation technology district, of course focusing in some part with this approach of being a small country that we can grow high infrastructure or score, but of course, digital infrastructure. So this in digitality and digitalization and digital transformation is one of the key enabler and drivers, and this is why the government in the recent years have a strong commitment to this process, not only of the digitalization of the government and the public administration, but very in taking and helping the industry and specifically the small and medium enterprises to really help them to tackle and to adopt these needs of digital transformation and finally impacting to the citizens. So this roadmap that the government put really a strong efforts in the recent years is having, it will permit to have some strategic transversal projects in terms of interoperability between administrations, or for example in terms of data governance at the country state, to really do this whole digitalization of the public administration, helping with these regulatory frameworks that will facilitate, for example, the use of data, or for example setting up what we are right now with this cybersecurity agency that we've seen that so far in the recent years is mandatory to be strong in these processes. As I said, driving the transformation of not only the corporate but specifically these small and medium companies that are the ones more needed in terms of digitalization, and of course helping this diversification and economic development processes. As you've seen, we're a very small country, so to be small it has some difficulties, for example, having access to big infrastructures or to big pools of human capital. However, to be small also has a lot of opportunities. So as I was saying, this possibility or this capacity to be close between administrations, this legal framework that we could implement easily or faster than other countries, this multi-stakeholder pipeline to adopt projects. So this is why we are really creating this sandbox environment to really facilitate, to co-create, test, prototype, any kind of project, innovative idea, service, product at our country scale. Just to give you some example, this approach of building up including specific sectors, and one of them is of course doing at country scale, at interdisciplinary scale, but also tackling the different sectors that we've seen so far. And it's all with the umbrella of our innovation and entrepreneurship strategy that is giving us the full roadmap of initiatives that not only government or public institutions will have to implement in the coming year, but really with this agreement between the different stakeholders, the private, the academia, and all the relevant stakeholders agreement to really tackle all these different topics, the human capital and social capital that we've seen, so funding, regulation, community growth, to create these cohesive innovation ecosystems. Do this by ourselves alone, and for us in our strategy is key to create this international network of cooperation. Here, cooperate, of course, with the champions of innovation. This is why we have strong relationships. They are key stakeholders in our project, the MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Israel Innovation Institute, but also a broad set of partners ranging from the public administration, from corporates, but also from small startups and innovative small countries that are starting to use it as a nice environment to test, prototype, and develop their projects. So we hope some of you maybe can join us in the future, and we will be here for having you. Thank you very much.
A unique testing environment. Andorra Press Lab is an environment for coordination, research, design and validation of innovation projects in which users become active actors and develop solutions through their reflections on new ideas that are being generated. Andorra Living Lab is an open innovation ecosystem based on the quadruple helix framework, in which companies, public authorities, academics and citizens work together to create, prototype, validate and test new solutions to actual challenges, always considering the user as the focus of the proposals. At Andorra Living Lab, we know that innovation, technology and digital transformation are, and will increasingly be, one of the essential elements to impulse all areas of our society, but with particular relevance in the entrepreneurial sector and the talent of Andorra. The Andorra Living Lab connects the strengths and opportunities that Andorra offers and brings it closer to the entrepreneurial ecosystem in order to promote agile networks for the development of pilot testing as a result of the quick access to the end user, a regulation that facilitates innovation and the proximity between relevant participants, in addition to the transversal support of both the public and private sector. At Andorra Living Lab, you will be able to co-create, together with other users, new designs, pilots or MVPs, promoting the use of shared resources, explore and discover new applications, products, trends and emerging market opportunities. Through the implementation of continuous innovation processes, you will be able to experiment, prototype and test live new scenarios and realities, optimizing interactive test and error processes using methodologies considered to be the most suitable to promote innovation. Connected value chains are built that allow evaluation based on objective socioeconomic criteria, minimizing time and reducing the resources needed to reach the market. Andorra's innovation strategy promotes the development of some strategic sectors, so that we also prioritize them from the Andorra Living Lab in order to join efforts together. Sustainability, mountain, sport, health and wellness, education. The purpose of the Andorra Living Lab is to work in line with the National Strategic Plan for the implementation of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development of the United Nations. Can you imagine testing your innovations in an agile way in an open environment? Don't imagine it, and join our innovation ecosystem.
I hope you've learned a lot. And that's it from the presentation side. So please, you're very welcome to have a bit of a refreshment with us and to have a bit of a networking with our companies and among you. So thank you very much.